Hi, hello, welcome to Spell Day. We're covering a spell every single day of the year from the 5e PHB +3. +3 are homebrew spells. We're at +1 at the moment. You can head back in the playlist to find it. And today's spell is Guardian of Faith.
I'm going to ultra kill you, you insignificant fuck!
He did say that.
4th level Conjuration, casting time of 1 action, range of 30 feet, components verbal, duration 8 hours. The large spectral guardian appears and hovers for the duration in an occupied space of your choice that you can see within range. The guardian occupies that space and is indistinct except for a gleaming sword and shield emblazoned with the symbol of your deity. Any creature hostile to you that moves to a space within 10 feet of the Guardian for the first time on a turn must succeed on a dexterity saving throw. The creature takes 20 radiant damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. The Guardian vanishes when it has dealt a total of 60 damage. It's a love-hate spell. Love it, and as in the theme of it, I mean, come on. A Radiant Guardian with this sword and shield emblazoned with your deity's symbol upon it. Standing guard after you conjure it over a location that if anything goes next to it, if it's on top of a holy relic, a downed ally, or a doorway to a temple, that if anything comes close, they get struck. Even if they make the save, still half damage. Still a glancing blow. Also, not concentration, 8 hours duration, 4th level spell, verbal component. Those are not bad qualities. And an action, so you can place this in the middle of combat to protect the area. Again, the fallen ally example. Which then comes into question, why 8 hours? Which also comes into question the damage, because that's its main downside. A flat damage spell is always usually pretty good. I mean, if they fail to save, it's no dice rolling, they just take 20 radiant damage, which is going to kill your average goblin, gonna kill your average commoner. Guard captain, monster, no. This is where some of its faults begin to come in. Against chaff, this is good. With an exception. Let's say you have a group of goblins. There's this temple door, there's a Guardian of Faith in front of it. They each walk up, and then they go, "Alright guys, who's heading it first?" Then you have the first take a step in, and dies. Now, this can go one of two ways. First way is after seeing their ally horrifically cut in half, even if they manage to slightly jump out of the way, the goblin's still dying to 10 damage. Seeing that, they'll leave. Or, "Oh god, they killed him! Charge!" And then they just keep running at it, or trying to get past it. Now, would your average goblin be dumb enough for it? I'm gonna say it depends your setting. But other dumb monsters or mindless monsters, like take zombies for example, zombies will be cut down by this. But even if they fail the dex save, especially if they fail the dex saves, it takes 3 zombies walking into it and the spell's gone. That's a 4th level spell only taking care of 4 creatures, because it singles them out. It covers an area, but that's trigger area, which can only affect 3 creatures if they all fail the save. If they pass the save, then it can affect 6, dealing 10 damage each in that 6 scenario, and they're passing the save. The damage pool mechanic, if it was well larger, like, especially since it's capped at 20 or 10, which is good, and I suspect this was so you couldn't trap a creature with CC in an area and then just have them every turn be hit by this. But the idea of a guardian guarding a doorway, that doesn't really work, because 3 creatures and it's done. In fact, it's not a super high level spell though, so you could keep casting this theoretically as a high level caster, which makes it more for that in middle of combat use of protecting that one location or just hitting a few different targets. Or that boss CC. You got a creature or boss stuck, just place down a Guardian Faith on them and watch as it ticks down the turns. But when it comes to the actual act of being a guardian outside of combat, because it lasts 8 hours. Those previous examples I just gave were for the middle of combat, which is probably its best role. At least what you can do with its health-wise, its damage pool, because acting as a regular guardian, 3 monsters, 3 idle birds, it's any creature hostile too, but then it goes into like, well, what counts as hostile when you're not there, etc. Due to that damage cap, it's not gonna do well. 5 out of 10, the flat damage is still good, the setup scenarios where it can hit a target over and over again for a good flat damage amount, a solid 60 damage over a course of 3 turns, in its best scenario, which is not bad. But in almost every other role, it's mediocre or doesn't fulfill it. That 8 hours is just a waste, really. Especially late game, because that's the issue. If this was for killing down goblins or commoners, it wouldn't be a 4th level spell. 4th level spell, enemies are tanking that.